Chapter 6. The Old Promise. The last night came like a bracket closing. I followed the coordinates that my notes skewered with pins, the bakery, the Holloway lobby, the old radio station with peeling paint. They formed a triangle around the city block where, as a child, I had spent a summer with my cousin. The memory existed like a photograph with a torn corner. I had, in my youth, been party to a small cruelty. We trapped a stray dog in a shed and laughed as it scratched at the door. No one spoke of it afterward. The dog vanished. I did not tell anyone because forgetting is a kind of pardon. But I'd also promised, in some clumsy ritual of childhood, to keep something buried, an act that hinged on silence. The voices I now tracked seemed to like the geometry of silence. They threaded through promises broken and kept. I stood in the Holloway lobby at exactly 3 a.m, the air distilled to a cold that had weight. The security cameras blinked in time with my breath. At 3 minutes past, midnight -1, the lights dimmed as if the building blinked. The same small silhouette materialized in the footage. It walked only once, toward the surveillance desk. It lifted a hand to the monitor as if to touch the recording of itself, and in the real lobby a child's hand, damp with city rain, pressed against the glass of the revolving door. I understood then, with the clarity of a conclusion you had been avoiding, that these were not random hauntings. They were margins of memory returning to demand an accounting. The voices were not trying to hurt. They were accusing. They called me by the nicknames and the pet names and the private sins I had thought dissolved. The last voice to speak in the lobby was the clearest. The child at the window, the watcher, the woman on the radio, 3 voices folded into one. You promised. I spoke aloud then, to the empty chairs and to whatever listened, and said the things I had not said for a long time. I named the hurt. I named the loss. I admitted the cruelty. The lobby did not exhale. The figure did not dissipate. Instead, it tilted its head, and for a second that felt like a lifetime, I saw an eye where there should have been only darkness. An eye that was not human and yet mirrored every small regret I carried. Then the world snapped. I felt a pressure like an old door closing on me. The surveillance monitors all refreshed and showed a feed from somewhere that was my childhood backyard. Mud, an old toy soldier sitting upright in the soil, a small watch face glinting. I watched a film of myself, younger, burying something, writing it with small hands. The cameras showed the dog in the shed, eyes reflecting moonlight, scratching for mercy. My throat shuddered. I had been the unseen audience of my own crime. When the feed cut to black, the room was quiet except for my heart. The voices had not gone. They had been rearranged. The last sound I heard, not from an object but in the inside of my skull, was a child's small voice, precise and impartial. Remember this, Marcus. Keep it.